Alright, welcome back to another video, everyone. And this is going to be my 24-hour follow-up video with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Now, before I get into my first 24-hour impressions physically with the Watch 4 Classic and my current band setup, I wanted to just give everyone a closer look at how I have my watch set up in terms of the software and the settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly go through the software and the settings in this screen recording style so you guys and gals can get a deep dive look into how my settings are set up. Now, all of these settings I have here can be changed on the watch as well, but I find it is easier to change these settings via the software on my device than it is to do it on the watch itself. So, without further ado, let's dive into this real quick setup walkthrough that I have, or that I have set up my watch and my setup moving forward after this 24-hour period. Let's go. So, first things first, I did go out and get the Samsung Health application. I had Samsung Health prior to this because I've had multiple Galaxy devices. So it was really nothing for me to just jump in there, sign into my Samsung account, and have everything sync across. And the Samsung Health app actually works best with my Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. So I did go ahead and get that. Now, jumping into the Galaxy Wearable application, let's take a look at how I have everything set up. So first things first, you can see my primary watch face. You can see the battery percentage left on my watch. Alright? And you can see just how long the software is indicating that will last on my watch. Okay? Moving on, let's take a look at my watch faces. So I am a utilitarian slash functionalist. So you can see the watch faces that I went for, they prioritize giving you the maximum amount of information in a clear fashion. So you can see this is my main one right here. And then you can see another one I have is right here. And then the last one right here. Okay? For me, my watch is secondary to my device, and when I have to look at my watch, I want to get the information that's important, and then I want to keep it pushing. So that's why I went with these particular three watch faces, because they allow me to prioritize the maximum amount of important information up front, and then I can keep it pushing. Or if I need to pull out my device to do a thing, then I can decide if I want to do that. So these are the watch faces that I've chosen. And a really good thing about the Galaxy watches is you have a wide variety of other watch faces, and it really is nothing to go out to the Play Store and get even more watch faces. So the possibilities are pretty much endless with your Galaxy Watch. Okay? So those are my watch faces. Now, let's talk about the applications that I have on my watch. And pretty much it's just the standard applications that come on the watch, because that's pretty much what I use, with the addition of Google Assistant, WhatsApp, and the camera app for my Pixel device, because that's what I'm using with the watch. I'm using my Google Pixel 6a. So with that camera app, it allows me to take a photo or start and stop video straight from the watch, which makes it super easy when I want to record a video or take a photo and I don't have anyone to help me. And Google Assistant is just a must. Sorry, Samsung, but Bixby ain't holding a candle to Google Assistant, so it's a must, right? jumping out of that, let's now look at my tiles. Okay, and here you can see I have my Galaxy Buds tile. Then I have my Google Assistant tile. Then I have my weather tile. Then I have my activity tile. Then we have my exercises tile, my body composition tile, my sleep tile, which I get horrible sleep, so this number always makes me sad every time I look at it. Then we got the EKG scanner, which is pretty cool, but I have yet to use it. And then we have my heart rate tile. And these are the tiles that I have on my watch. Okay? And then we have different setups that I can have based on the different tiles that I have. But honestly, as I said before, I just went with the tiles that do exactly what I need them to do and present me with the most information up front at a glance. All right? So those are my tiles. Then let's look at my quick settings. And pretty much this is the standard quick settings that come on the watch. I really didn't add anything or take away anything from these quick settings because I felt like they're pretty useful. So there's nothing real for me to adjust there. Now let's take a deeper dive into this. So let's go into the watch settings, and pretty much I have it set up to push all of my notifications to the watch all the time, okay? Even when my phone is in use and when it's not being used. So I always get my notifications. Then coming over to the sounds and vibration, I have everything set to vibrate, okay? I don't want my wrists going off as much as my phone goes off. I would much rather my wrist just vibrate, then I look at the watch, getting a notification, and I decide what I want to do. Okay, same thing for the phone calls, same thing for the basic notifications. Okay, that's how I have that set up. So if anything happens, my wrist vibrates. Okay, I much rather have things on vibrate than I would have it on sound. All right, so that's that. Going on down, here's my display setup. Now I have my brightness set to the lowest to maximize the battery life. Okay, if you use adaptive brightness, you'll always be able to see your watch face, but it will use up more battery. Then I'm a big proprietor of having the always on display, because then that allows you to use your watch, or for me to use my watch like a traditional watch. So a traditional watch, you can always see the time, you can always see whatever you have on it. That's why I'm a big proprietor of always on display, because it lets me use my smartwatch like a traditional watch. So I'm always getting my important information every time I look at my wrist. Other than that, I have the tap the display to wake it turned on. And then you can see I have my screen timeout set to 1 minute. Okay. I also have it set to show me the last used app, depending on what I do. Okay. And then the rest of this is self-explanatory. I got the high touch sensitivity turned on. I have the charging information turned on. So when I'm charging the watch, it always tells me the current battery percentage and how much time I have until the charge is complete. All important information. Y'all will see a trend here, okay? Because the more information I have, the easier it is for me to make up for my physical deficiencies, all right? I am disabled and I have a pretty serious disability, but one of the ways that I make up for my physical disability is I like to plan out things ahead of time. So the more information I have, the more I can plan and physically be able to make up for my physical deficiencies. That's why a lot of my things are set up in a way to where I can respond very quickly. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people, when they interact with me, they would never know that I was physically disabled, because I can respond just as quick as a regular person because of how I have things set up. you probably wouldn't be able to tell that I was disabled until you saw me in person, which is essentially what we're going for. All right. And so that's how that's set up. And let's keep it pushing here. So that was display. And then I have the health metrics pushing out to Samsung Health. Okay. And y'all can see the settings here. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The only 2 days of the week that I take off are Saturday and Sunday. All right. Saturday is the Lord's Day. And then Sunday is just a rest and laundry day. It is what it is. Other than that, Monday through Friday, I'm trying to get it in and do whatever I have to do to get wherever I want to be. It's just how it is. So you can see the only 2 days that I have that I'm not setting my alarms or not doing anything is Saturday and Sunday. Okay? And then moving on, we got the Samsung Pay. I already talked about that in the unboxing and first impressions. The emergency and safety information. Now this is nice, okay? You can set this up to where if anything happens, you can send emergency alerts to your emergency contacts. So maybe your mom, your girlfriend, your kids, what have you, whoever you want it to be. And you can also do fall detection as well. So if you're an elderly person or somebody with a physical disability and you fall and you have reached a situation where you can't fend for yourself, turning on that fall detection might be very important, because that can again send out an emergency alert to people to where you can get help. So having that emergency fall detection and SOS alerts is very important. And I always recommend, especially for my fellow disabled people, that you turn this on and you have this set up. All right. So that's that. Accounts and backup, that's self-explanatory. Then we got advanced features and gestures. So you can see how I have my gestures and my advanced features set up. So double pressing the back button will bring up my recent apps. Press and hold on the home button will bring up my assistant, so on and so forth. All right. I can see that there. Boom. Moving on down, here you can see the health metrics and battery metrics for the watch. So you can see the available RAM now that I have everything set up. Okay. You can see the available storage now that I have everything set up. So like I said in the unboxing and first impressions, you get 16 gigs of onboard storage. Okay. And after I set up everything the way I wanted it to be, I have 7 gigs available. You have 1.5 gigs of RAM. After I have everything set up the way I want it to be, there's about 1.1 available, and out of that, about 400 megabytes is free. Okay, and you can see again how much battery life I have left on the watch, and it also indicates, you're going to see that later, what wrist it's on. And then right here, this is basically the same app screen that I showed y'all earlier, showing you the applications that I have on the watch. It's just doing it in a better, cleaner software fashion. Right? That's that. Okay? And you'll see with your Samsung software, there are multiple redundancies. So there are multiple instances of different things. Right? And then as I said before, the watch itself comes with 16 gigs of onboard storage, so you can offload music, videos, or photos to the watch for you to use straight from the watch, or use a Bluetooth headset with the watch and just the watch. Okay? If you don't use it like that, you will need to have it connected up to your phone at all times. Then we have some general setup information, so you can see how I have this set up. Okay? That's pretty much self-explanatory there, but I want y'all to see my overall setup, and it did take me a long time to set up this watch. It did, but I think I have everything set up exactly the way I want it to be. Okay, so that was general. Here you can see we do have a bunch of accessibility options. Now this is self-explanatory, so I'm not going to get into this. Okay. And then we do again have the about option here to where you can see the serial number, the model. You can see the software right here. And you can see the battery right here. Okay? And then you can also check for updates and install new updates. Again, I went over this in the unboxing and first impressions, but this just gives you a better look at it. Okay? And that, guys and gals, pretty much goes over from a software perspective exactly how I have my Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic watch set up. Now, in this next portion of the video, I'm just going to give y'all my physical first impressions after 24 hours and how I feel about the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic after using it for my first 24-hour period. Okay? So give me 1 second. I'll be right back with y'all for the next part of the video. I'll be right back in a little bit. Alright everyone, so I went over my full software setup. Now in this portion of the video, I'm just going to let everyone know my overall thoughts as to how I feel about the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic after using it for about 24 hours. Alright, so first things first, I have to say this. I'm reminded again just how good Samsung is at doing a wearable. Okay? From the minute I finished the setup of the watch, it brought me right back to what I loved about my older Samsung smartwatches. In particular, the last Samsung smartwatch that I had was the Gear S2. And aside from the battery life, to me, that was actually a really good watch. Okay? And using this Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, even though it's only been 24 hours, it reminds me of that. Okay? The overall look of it, I really, really like it. The overall feel of the bands, even though this is a third-party band that can be easily installed and removed, I really, really like that. And I even have another third-party band right here, and this one is even better because it gives you the ability to install and remove it using the button release, the quick button release. But I want to use this band first for about a week and come out with my full review on it before we switch to this one. But that's for a separate video. But first impressions with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic after 24 hours. This seems to be a really, really good smartwatch. And this does about everything that I needed to do in terms of a smartwatch. And it even does some things that I wouldn't even consider, right? So primarily for me, when I'm looking at a smartwatch, I wanted to track my steps. I wanted to track my heart rate. I wanted to give me my notifications, all right, from all of my important apps. I wanted to give me the ability to make and receive phone calls. I also wanted to give me the ability to respond to messages and phone calls and things of that nature. And this watch right here can do all of that, right? The few phone calls that I've taken on the watch so far are really good, okay? It's a little bit quieter than the CMF Watch Pro in terms of the phone call volume, but the clarity is still on par with that, right? And then even further still, dictating things like text messages and responses via the microphones on the watch, via the Google Assistant, have been pretty much top notch, and I haven't had any issues, all right? So I'd have to say, after my first 24 hours with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, it is turning out to be a really, really good experience. Now, why did I not say top notch? Right? Why did I not say top notch? And the reason why I didn't say it's turning out to be a top-notch experience is because of the battery life. That's the one thing that is giving me the most anxiety with this watch, even after a 24-hour period. Now, if y'all check out my other coverage, you can see I already came out with the first charge test for the watch, because after my first initial full charge and setup, this watch died extremely quickly. So I'm actually on my second overall charge, and it made it just barely through a day. And you can see we're coming up to the end of my first full day with it, but it's actually like the second day. And you can see it's already at 63%, right? Now, this may drain fast because I receive a lot of notifications. It may drain fast because of how I have it set up. But this is how I believe a smartwatch should be set up, all right? This is all of the things that I believe a smartwatch should do, right? So, the only thing that I'm going to be concerned about moving forward is the overall battery life. That was the one main issue that I had with my other Samsung smartwatch. The battery life just wasn't there. So I'm hoping that this particular battery life for the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic is better. But in all honesty, although I know it's probably not going to be, if I'm being completely 100% honest, and it kind of pains me to say this, as long as I can get through a full 24-hour period, like a realistic 24-hour period, I'm okay with charging the watch once a day, right? And what do I mean by that? I charge the watch to full, I use it throughout my day, and I sleep with it. And then if it dies, I get up the next morning and I put it on the charger while I'm getting ready, while I'm taking a shower and getting ready. It can charge up, right? But I need it to be able to give me a full 24 hours, right? With the most important thing being that it does not die on me throughout my day, and it does not die while I need it to track my sleep patterns and all of that other good stuff. So, although I feel like we've had smartwatches on the market for forever now, and I feel like smartwatches should really be giving you like at least the same thing that a smart band would give you, which is like 11 to 14 days on a single charge and deliver all this good stuff. I'm okay if I can just get a full 24-hour cycle out of the smartwatch, even though it really pains me to say that. But with all these features and everything that this watch offers, I really just needed to give me a full 24 hours. I'm okay with charging it in the morning while I get ready. So, in all honesty, this has been a really good experience, even after the first 24 hours. And my main concern moving forward is going to be the battery life. So, one thing I want to do before I get up out of here, all my Samsung Galaxy Watch owners, please leave your tips and tricks down below in the comments as to certain things that you do to maximize the battery life on your Samsung Galaxy smartwatch, right? For me, I might keep this long term, right? After I do my review process, I might end up keeping it long term. But for right now, I have my 3 different ways that I'm going to use it. And we're on way number 1. So that's what always on display turned on. And then I have tap to wake, and then it wakes up. But the next way I'm going to use it after this is with always on display turned off. And then it would just be tap to wake every time I need to wake it up or check something, or it wakes up when I get a notification or a phone call. And then after that, I'm going to turn off tap to wake, and we'll only use the power button to wake it, or it will only wake up when I get a notification or a phone call, right? So those are the 3 ways that I'm going to test it. But after that testing process is done, after the full review process is done, if I actually end up keeping this smartwatch, I would love to put some of you guys and gals tips into maximizing the battery life for the smartwatch into use. So please leave your feedback as to what tips and tricks I can use to maximize the battery life that I will put into use after the full review process is done. Alright, so that pretty much does it for this 24-hour follow-up video with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, you guys and gals know what to do. Please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. If you would like to see more content like this, also feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you guys and gals get notified when I publish new videos. Also feel free to follow me across all the social media platforms. All my social media links will be linked up down below in the video description as well. And as always, if this video piqued your interest and you would like to know where you can get everything featured in the video, whether that be watches, recommended bands, recommended smartphones, so on and so forth, all the affiliated buy links to where y'all can pick up everything that I talked about and featured in my videos will be located down below in the video description as well. And as the name implies, every time you guys and gals make a purchase using those affiliated links, I do get a small percentage of commission that I do put back into the channel, and that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So those affiliated links, in my opinion, are like a win-win for everyone. Alright, today's entire video was recorded using the front and rear facing cameras on the Samsung Galaxy S10e in 1080p at 30 FPS with no external microphone hooked up. Alright, but I am using my professional studio lights here, so please let me know what you think of the overall video quality as well as what you think of the overall audio quality, because as always, all your feedback is greatly appreciated. Just remember to keep your feedback respectful, please. We're all grown-ups and we should all be able to respectfully share our opinions. Alright, I hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. We are out of here. Peace.